So today is the June 25th. A little tomato update here. I did a little weeding here tonight. See, it's back here on the zucchinis and around the tomatoes here. Got a little bit of weeding done. There's still weeding that needs to be done, but I got started on it anyway. I don't know how well these. There you go. You can see my tomatoes growing there, down there. Now these are cherry tomatoes, so not sure when they're going to be ready. Wouldn't it be nice to have tomatoes on the 4th of July? I don't know if that's going to happen. Probably not. But so this guy here is my number one tomato here. It's got a big in it where got away from my stake a little bit, but the other ones are starting to catch up to it pretty quick. This guy here is almost as tall as it is, tall as the first one there, with that big crook in it. If I could straighten that crook out and get it stood straight up, it'd be another 2 or 3 inches taller. But I'll back up here a little bit, get him in frame. I don't know what's going on with this guy here. He's been struggling since day one, and all the leaves on the top of it keep curling up like that. And I can't remember for the life of me what that is. I'm gonna have to do some research, but it seems like to me it's a deficiency of something. I can't think of what it is. I know they do that some to conserve moisture when it's real hot, but I mean, it really hasn't been that hot. I mean, we've had a couple 80-degree days, but not like 100-degree days or anything. So, and this guy is the, what is that? Boxcar Willie. That's my Boxcar Willie there. So that should be like a big sandwich type tomato there. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we'll get some tomatoes off of it. I see it's got some blossoms on it there. I just can't get over how big these leaves are on this plant. Get down here, you can get bigger ones down there. I mean, and it's cherry tomatoes and the leaves are huge on it. Just kills me. That big of leaves for that small tomato. So these are what's called indeterminate variety. So which means they'll continue to grow and grow and grow and grow. It's tall as long as you keep staking them and they don't get frosted out. So the secret to this is you have to sucker them. And these are already been suckered, but you can see right there that little brown spot there. Well, that's where I cut a sucker. It gets a little growing tip coming out here, and if you let that thing go, it'll be another whole plant. So the theory is that you take all them off, so it puts all of its production, it concentrates all of its growing into the main stem, and then you get one nice big healthy stem. I don't know if you can tell how big that, down here. See how big that stem is down there? Thing is, bigger than my finger down there. And so you take all them suckers off, because they'll grow. You can see a leaf node here comes out. Here's the main stem, and it'll get a little start of growth right there, and you cut that off. And then halfway between the two stems, you'll get a blossom stem come off here. So you can see the blossom halfway between that leaf node and that leaf node there. You can see down here. So here's a leaf node here. There's a leaf node down there. And there's the blossom stem there. So this is an indeterminate variety. Actually, you want to see a little sucker. That little guy growing right there, that's a sucker. This guy growing right there, that's a sucker or the growing tip. So you got to be careful not to get them cut too far off. Cut them back, cut too many suckers off, because if something would happen to the growing tip, you want to have another growing tip to go from. But that guy right there is a sucker. And right there is another set of blossoms forming there. So that is the indeterminate. There goes Tim. And these are called determinants. So they should get about up, not quite to the top of the cage, I wouldn't think. I think they should get about right up there. And these things here, you just don't worry about suckering them. You just let them go whichever way you want to. I still need to prune them back off the bottom, get them up off the ground. I'll do that sometime in the next couple weeks. Some of them here are still trying to get caught up, but I got them all caged, got the stakes off of them, And now we're just waiting for them to grow. You can see some of them might need a little bit of fertilizer again. We've had some pretty good growing weather this year for tomatoes anyway, because everybody says, well, they like a lot of heat. Well, that's true to some extent, but they don't like the really, really hot weather like we had last year. So this year we've had rain about every 3 or 4 days, and it's been fairly cool, or I should say relatively cool, I guess. So the tomatoes are doing really well. And there's the peppers. Of course, I just can't get over this watermelon. Every time I look at it, it just seems like it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't see any fruit on it yet, but I need to go get some more staples. I keep putting staples down to train it. I'm trying to train it to stay out of everything else, and I'm going to train my cantaloupe. Yeah, cantaloupe. I'm going to train it to kind of come out this way here towards the grass, and then down in this area over here, next in between the. Got a big open spot here between my peppers and it, so I'm going to try to bring it down in this area, and I'm going to bring the cantaloupe down around this way here. Cantaloupe, though, the watermelon down through this area here, I think. See how that works. That's the current plan of attack anyway, so everything else looking pretty good. Just waiting on harvest now. All right, we'll see you guys later. Well, I thought I'd show you my carrots and onions here. They're doing extremely well. I mulched them in here, I don't know when it was now. It's been at least a week. And it does two things for you. One, it helps control the weeds, but more importantly, it holds moisture in there, so when it rains or whatever, the moisture will stay in the ground instead of just evaporating away real quick. Because that's one of the issues with growing in a raised bed like this. It's like growing in a big pot. So if you don't, well, I guess you don't. You got to water them almost daily. If not, they'll dry out. But mulching them in, I don't need to water them nearly as often. Matter of fact, I can't even remember the last time it was I watered them. We've had a little bit of rain last weekend. So, but I went and pulled out a carrot here. Oh. So there's just one I pulled out at random there, thinning them out a little bit. That's kind of what I do. I just keep pulling one out or two out at a time. Kind of thins them out a little bit as we go. So we're getting some carrots developed there. Here's my strawberry patch. Unfortunately, I already picked the strawberries. They're in my pocket. No way you'll be able to see those, but they're in there. And that netting is working very well. I'm very pleased with the netting. The only thing is I wish that maybe it was on its own frame or something, so you could just pick the frame up. Obviously, you'd want it in two pieces because 8 foot long would be too big a frame. You know, maybe two 4-foot frames. You know, half where you can hinge it back, because it tends to grab a hold of everything. So it can be a little bit of a pain in the butt to flip it over to get in there. But that might be a good thing because it keeps the birds out of there. Oh, I see a weed in there that needs to come out of there. Over there somewhere. I can't see it on the viewfinder here. So I'm happy with the, oh my goodness, look at that big weed. Damn pigweed. I guess I'm going to need to get in there and get that out of there. It's that thing pushing up right there is a big pigweed growing in there. I need to get out of there. So, but carrots are doing nice. I didn't mulch in between them. It's just bare ground underneath there, which I doubt you can tell. But the advantage is that, you know, these things have canopied out, so they essentially make their own mulch. That's why I planted them the way they did, so they would canopy up like this real nice and keep the weeds out and everything else. So, okay, I gotta get going. We'll see you. Well, guess why I'm out here? I might as well show you my horseradish. I'm pleased with that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stalks growing up through there. I like it. Look at that damn dog down in that swallet. Dog, you getting ready to go swimming? Huh? Stay out of there. You just had a bath yesterday. Damn dog. She's being a real butthead here lately. Okay, well, it's horseradish. Not much to look at yet, so. Alright, we'll see you guys. I think I got just about enough for a bowl of ice cream with some strawberries, I think. Get those things cleaned up here after a while. That's thirsty drinking there.